Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at audiblepodcast.com/Sorgatron Media. Over 75,000 titles to choose from for your iPod, iPhone, or MP3 player.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Do what you have to do.
Welcome to the Wrestling Mayhem Show. I don't even know what episode we're on. What episode are we on? 256?
Yeah, 256.
250, awesome.
We're in 256 colors coming live to you on the internet.
Yes, on the internets. I am this week's host, Chachi, taking over the show once again. This time on a less permanent basis, covering in for Sorg, who's not feeling well. And I need him at full capacity for this weekend. So he's taking the night off.
And why does he need to be at full capacity for this weekend?
Because we reached our 2,400 goal for Chachi Plays.
Yes, we did.
2,400.
Which means I will be playing video games for 24 hours straight from 7 p.m. Friday until 7 p.m. Saturday.
And more importantly, that means the children will be playing video games.
Yes, and ultimately it means the kids in the hospital will be also playing video games. And that's why we're doing this.
It's a celebration, bitches.
So, yeah. It'll be webcast live all 24 hours, so you can watch me get progressively stupid throughout as the time goes on.
Well, there we go.
So, I mean...
Chachi, I think the 24th hour should be like Battletoads.
You know what?
That's painful.
One of the
hurtful.
ladies of wrestling actually has that very last slot.
Really? Who's that?
Veronica
Zing.
got the last hour. So, it's up to her. I don't know what we're playing.
Oh man, I may have to text her my idea of Battletoads.
So,
I want to see an entirely delirious Chachi try and play Battletoads and just get extremely, extremely frustrated.
you know what? It doesn't matter what I'm playing at that last hour because I won't care.
Fair enough.
It'll be almost done. I will be basically playing with one eye open, trying to get through the last hour so we can. Trying to get through that last hour so we can clean up and go have a beer. So
at which point you will pass out.
Right, exactly. So yeah, Friday through Saturday, live on the internet. If you can't make it down to Ninja Entertainment on Smithfield Avenue in downtown Pittsburgh, watch, interact.
I'm gonna be watching. I get home from work.
Yeah, interact. Toss me your questions. I'll answer them. We'll have a discussion because I can't leave that chair for 24 hours.
Yes, you can. You have to pee.
Right, minus breaks. I have to take certain breaks for health reasons, so safety concerns.
There will be no catheter action.
Right, that's not happening. So, in case you've never heard this before, this is a Wrestling
Yeah, I'm
Mayhem
a
Show.
5-year-old. I know what a catheter is. What now?
WrestlingMayhemShow.com, Twitter @MayhemShow, and you can email us at
Good times.
at WrestlingMayhemShow.com or call us on the hotline at 412-206-WMS0 or 9670.
For those of you with rotary phones.
Yes, rotary phones. This week, as
Also,
normal,
when you're drunk.
we have AJ for the third week in a row on the couch.
Oh, man.
He's warming up his thumbs.
Warming up these thumbs. I got an hour of Contra with Chachi at 1 o'clock on Saturday. So if you want to watch me play video games and do this a lot, that's 1 o'clock on Saturday.
All right.
He's
And
got blisters on his fingers.
we got Mad Mike with the shades
What's
and
up, peoples?
Captain American shirt.
Dashing Mad Mike.
Yes, Dashing Mad Mike.
America.
WrestleFan from
America.
BFE, Texas. Because I can't remember. Where are you from?
From that Corpus Christi or whatever the hell it's
You're
called.
from Parts Unknown.
Yeah, parts unknown. And this week, because DJ Lunchbox is not available, we have the Prince Magus.
Returning. Been a while. What's up, everybody? I'm from Parts Soon Unknown, Spain. That's a different place than Parts Unknown. Parts Soon Unknown. Look it up on a map.
Well, there you have it. So, well, now that we've covered the 2 hours in introductions, WrestleFan went... No, I'm kidding. So, who wants to be in charge this week? What do we got wrestling-wise? Mad one.
Well, Chachi, we have fan mail.
Oh, well then let's do the fan mail.
Fan
Because we
mail.
love our fans.
Yes.
And, if you email us, whatever you email us.
What's that email address?
Good times.
At WrestlingMayhemShow.com.
WrestlingMayhemShow.com.
All right, go ahead. You have the email up?
I have the email up.
All right, go ahead.
Oh, you want to do it, Mike?
I'll let the child read it.
All right.
Because a child
Yeah, I
laughter
get to
brings cheer
read.
to us all.
Reading
exactly.
skills.
Remember,
WMS.
it's top to bottom,
So
left
the big-
to right.
Continue.
I'm not in China or whatever the hell they do it. But no, WMS. So the big story of the past week happened last night when Mr. McMahon came back from his coma just enough to tell us that next week he's going to announce the guest host of WrestleMania. Rumors are swirling on the interwebs about who is going to be the host.
Brock Lesnar.
So why not have... What was that?
Sorry, I had a little cough. It sounds like Brock
Aye, aye.
Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is hosting.
Wow.
So-
That sounds like the next. That sounds like the next big cough.
Oh God, I need to see. Yeah, I need to see like a Dr. Heyman about that or something. But sorry, go on. Sorry, didn't mean to disturb you there, fan. Moving right along.
And
Continue.
so why not have one of the top emailers throw in his guesses? Sadly, Juggalo Jamie has gone on an email hiatus, so I'm going to give my guesses as to who I think should be the guest host. Number 5, Mark Henry. Because who can eliminate Mark Henry? Oh wait, that was a Rumble email.
In other words,
Number
Riz
4.
couldn't think of 5 people.
Yeah.
Number 4, Justin Bieber. I'm sorry, I just threw up in my mouth a bit.
Going through puberty. Going
Wait,
through puberty.
what's a Bieber?
Justin Bieber.
What's a Bieber?
What's a Bieber?
Number
That commercial
3,
was terrible.
Aaron
I'm sorry.
Rodgers. WWE better hurry and sign the guy before TNA believes he's an actual WWE World Champion and pays him a shitload of money. Sadly,
That's
I don't
sad,
think
but
he's joking.
accurate.
Number 2, Mr. McMahon. He was the one who kicked off the WrestleMania that held the 73,000 people, as he mentioned a couple of times during his 1-minute speech.
WrestleMania.
Number 1. WrestleMania.
And
No.
it was 93,000.
Yeah.
93,000.
And
Yeah.
where was it?
Typo.
Detroit, Michigan. At
Yep,
the
Pontiac
building,
Silverdome.
which is
Pontiac
still there, and if you
Silverdome.
want it, it's like $2,000. So
And number 1, Ric Flair. With all this drama about where is Flair in TNA, it would only be fitting that next week we hear the real Stratus version of his entrance music, and TNA would crap their pants in this order: Hogan, Bishop, Dixie, and TNA marks. Also,
TNA
does this
has
mean that
marks?
Mr. McMahon, if it isn't McMahon himself, is just going to have a 2-week grace period before he continues his comatose state? Until next time, going to my comatose state until next week, Riz.
That's
You
not
like the
true.
word
I will
comatose.
see him this weekend. All right. So,
I don't think any of those are going to be the guest hosts.
yeah, I don't think so either. I don't think it's going to
No,
be Brock
no,
Lesnar.
do we need a guest
I don't think
host?
so.
No.
We don't need a guest
No.
host.
But you
Well,
know who
guest
we do
host,
need
I mean-
if it is him, because Raw next week is going to be in Anaheim, California,
Emilio
and
Estevez.
it's someone close.
The Mighty Duck Man.
It's someone who has a movie coming out very soon.
Oh,
With
God.
Quack, 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 quack.
That movie looks like
quack,
shit on a sandwich.
quack. No.
Ducks
there will be
fly
no quacking.
together.
Ducks fly
And
together.
when anyone says it can't be done, ducks fly together. No, it's The Rock. It is The Rock.
Ah,
See, I don't think it'll be The
I
Rock.
will
That
We're
would
gonna
be
in
awesome,
Anaheim
though.
next week.
That'd
Because
be really cool.
because if
He
you
doesn't
need to
want
find The
anything to do
Rock,
with the
he's in
wrestling business.
Anaheim.
Right.
Like, I mean, is that where The Rock now
shows
hangs out? Is that his like?
That's
place?
where The Rock lives.
Right, because hey, we're gonna be in your backyard, Rock. Can you just show up and say, hey, we'll fly out. We'll do the thing we used to do. You can Rock is cooking, and then you can move on. You can do that thing for like a 5-minute segment, and then you can pretend that you weren't involved with wrestling in any form at all for the last 20 years, and then we'll just pretend that you're still Dwayne. Got it. Can you do that for us?
Yeah.
Come on, champ.
Exactly.
His name's Dwayne. Dwayne.
No, you know what? I'm not even going to begin to guess at who it will be, because I'll be wrong. It's just, I don't think it'll be The Rock or any of the people guessed so far. I think it'll be just one of those off-the-wall things that happen.
It's Psycho Sid Vicious. Thanks for coming, everybody. That's done.
You know what would be
We're doing
awesome?
Psycho Sid. That's gonna be the official prediction now. If it's gonna be that off the wall thing, I'm going Psycho Sid Vicious. No reason other than because he's
Vicious.
somebody we'd never think of.
By the way, the Pontiac Silverdome sold for a cool $550,000 to some Greek developer. And the taxpayers originally built the stadium in 1975 for $55.7 million.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, there's that.
Eminem, you can't even save Detroit.
Well,
Oh god, that commercial.
I'm just saying that that's how much that sold for. Anyways,
Yeah.
but I really don't think it's The Rock. I think they would use
It's gonna
Michaels.
be Betty White.
It'll be Michaels.
No.
How are you going to put
Let's not
Michaels
give it
back?
Shawn Michaels.
How are you going to? Michaels is going to want to be involved with WrestleMania in some form
Right.
other than that. Here's all the Hall of Fame people one last time because we haven't beaten it into your faces by now.
Actually, you know
Michaels.
who it could be?
Huh?
Austin, to plug Tough Enough.
There we go
Could
too. I see it.
Because Tough Enough premieres right after WrestleMania.
WrestleMania.
Could be him.
Okay, I could see
Bye-bye.
that.
WrestleMania.
It's not off the wall, but it still isn't all that exciting.
I can't. I really think that this whole guest host thing that they want to do is just so Vince McMahon could say, "We have a celebrity coming to our show." It's not going to be a former wrestler.
It's going to be Fred Durst.
Oh man,
I hope it's not
because
Fred
Kid
Durst.
Rock did really well 2 years ago. Or last
But
year.
I don't see the real problem in having guests for WrestleMania since they usually fill WrestleMania with celebrities anyways.
Oh, yeah, you might as well have something official.
But
Yeah.
my issue though is that they try to do it because they want to say oh, we're the cross. WrestleMania is the cross between sports and entertainment. And this is where it all collides, and there's celebrities, but they never get big name celebrities. They always get crappy celebrities because WWE can't pull
That's not
Cyndi
true.
Lauper
They've
anymore.
gotten big name celebrities before.
They had Mickey Rourke 2 years
Well,
ago.
I'm reading on some of the speculation that's going out. Obviously, one of the early choices would be Justin Bieber, since it's been rumored for a long time that he'll be at WrestleMania performing.
Oh Jesus Christ!
To perform, not the.
It also was
host, though.
announced. Apparently, it's official that Bob Barker will make some appearance at WrestleMania.
That's awesome.
I have no idea.
That's
I have no
amazing.
idea.
Come on down!
And the other speculation
Wait,
is
WrestleFan. Did he slam him? Did
he slam
him?
I
Did
can't
he
tell.
slam him?
WrestleFan!
Very good. All of my pets pregnant.
WrestleFan!
Yeah. Wow. And the other rumored person that may be the guest is American Idol host Ryan Seacrest.
Oh, yay! Because that's something I want to see.
Jesus Christ.
Just
Do
can we
not
wheel
put
Dick
American
Clark's
Idol in my WrestleMania.
Can we bring Dick Clark out of his chamber of souls for an hour and just park Dick Clark out there so you can just go, have fans, everybody's here for WrestleMania.
Is that legal?
What?
Doesn't it take him a whole year to charge?
Oh, God.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does take a year for Dick Clark to charge.
That's entirely accurate.
So
But he
basically,
doesn't have to count
he's
this
like a
time, so
hybrid.
he's not going to sound like a moron.
So okay,
You know
so
who would be an awesome host for WrestleMania? Conan O'Brien.
yeah, it wouldn't happen.
No, it won't
Yes.
I know it wouldn't,
Nah.
But it
he'd
would be awesome because he would actually they'd try and work him into an actual bump somehow.
Mhm.
I would see.
It'll be
taking
the
a bump.
homeless guy with the golden voice that Oprah found. That'll be it.
Oprah,
He's
didn't find him some random
Justin
dude in
Roberts'
Columbus
job,
did,
which I support that entirely, as we know from.
Hey,
past
no,
mistakes.
you don't shit on Justin Roberts. Oh, wait. Now I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Actually,
you
he
right.
does shit on Justin Roberts.
Because he's
Yeah,
more
yeah,
his
he's
job.
in the
And
shit on
anybody
Justin.
can do your job better than you, Justin Roberts. I'm just saying. I work in a shack behind the TV studio. They should give me your job because I'm better than you at it, and I've never even done it before. So there you go. Done.
But I mean,
That's my message to you, Justin Roberts.
Hey, the homeless guy with the golden voice is already in rehab because he got back on the blow again. So sorry for that one. That one's out.
That's what fame does to you.
Yeah, because being on the blow has ever stopped anybody in the professional wrestling industry.
Oh no!
Hey, sometimes you
Wait,
you
where's
become world
WrestleMania gonna be?
champion.
Atlanta.
WrestleMania is in Atlanta, right?
ATL, shouty.
They need someone who's gonna be huge in Atlanta, someone who's been there before, someone who's controversial.
Lil Jon.
Michael Vick.
Oh. No,
Ted
they're
Turner.
Michael Vick.
Oh, Ted Turner.
Oh my god,
That's
Ted Turner would be amazing.
All the marks on the internet would just be like,
Oh,
"Oh, it's Ted Turner. He's on Vince McMahon's
You
show."
don't think they're gonna do Billionaire Ted, are they?
No.
Oh,
No.
Jesus.
Billionaire
Oh,
Ted.
gonna be Wait, no.
I
What,
could totally
what,
see
what can
Vince
it? What's
pulling
it?
that shit.
Oh, Vince
What's
would.
in it? What's a good take on Dixie Carter?
Anything with a vagina.
Vagina.
I'm sorry, Dixie Carter's just an idiot in my book, so I'm just going to continually to make. I'll just continue to make fun of her.
Mhm.
All right.
I don't think you'll hear much opposition from this group.
Yeah.
And the
There's
one
not gonna be a
person
lot
who
of
would defend
people clamoring
TNA
to
right now is
stop you
currently
there.
upstairs and sick. Sorry, Sorg.
TNA free.
And we'll get into TNA in a little bit later because
Did Jeff Hardy?
oh boy.
Oh. All right. Well,
All right, so
I think we're done speculating here.
yeah,
We
did the
don't know.
We did the email.
We don't know.
We
never
speculated about WrestleMania.
But
WrestleMania.
when one of our millions of guesses is correct next week, we're going to rub it in everybody's faces that we
we're
were
totally
correct.
right.
I
Oh,
guess.
Totally.
So, WrestleFan, why don't you give us the indie minute?
That's me. That's me. That's my time. Okay. Not a whole lot of indie news this week.
Well, then you're
Thing that I
fired.
did-
No, I'm kidding. Go on.
You let me finish. But the one thing
Chachi, you
that I
can't
did,
fire him. He quits.
I need this job.
All right, go ahead,
I need
WrestleFan.
it. But no, Pro Wrestling Revolution this past week had their big event, which was the retirement match for Taylor Wilde, aka Chantel Taylor. She had a great match according to reports with Alyssa Flash, otherwise known as Cheerleader Melissa. If you want to go to divator.com, they have a video of her retirement speech after the match. Very good. We hope her the best in her futures. Apparently, she's going into being a firefighter. So good for her, and we hope to see, hopefully, for her to come back to the wrestling business sometime soon. And yeah, that's the indie news that I have for this week in wrestling.
You missed the biggest piece of indie wrestling news indie wrestling has seen in a very long time. How did you miss
Apparently,
this?
I'm missing everything.
The most illegal thing I've ever seen in professional wrestling video on YouTube.
Yes. Oh,
That went
I-
completely
why did I
viral
not
from
mention
CZW. The hypnosis
Yes,
from the Osirian portal. I
that,
must have watched that
going
video
vi- they
20
have-
times this week.
Last time I checked, they had over 100,000 views on YouTube.
It was over 3
They-
million when I looked.
Dude,
Yeah.
it was on Around the Horn. It
Yeah.
was on
Yeah.
ESPN's Around the Horn, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, they.
It was on the front page of AOL.com. It was, and which is really surprising to me because you look at indie wrestling and you look at places like Chikara specifically, which the portal are main people from. A lot of that stuff could be internet sensations. So, but yeah,
I heard that
congratulations
a
to
while
them.
back, Jakara was trying to get on Nickelodeon.
Were they? I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
a
while
I think it
while
would've been
back,
a good
Jakara
push,
was
yeah.
trying to get on Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon
Yeah,
would
that
never
was
allow
Nothing to do with wrestling.
Oh, they were
Yes.
apparently they were goofing off with some sort of idea. They wanted like they were goofing off like, could we make kids be the ones wrestling or something like that?
If I could watch little kids doing Ric Flair chops on one another, I'd probably watch at least a minute of that.
They're just like, could we do something? And then it's never a good idea. So they don't do stuff. Whatever.
Right, from what I'm looking at right now, it has over 1,700,000 views on YouTube. So that's
I'm gonna be honest, I
really
haven't
great
seen
for
it.
them.
What is it? Well, what's the YouTube
yeah.
search? Let's look this up.
The video is called
it's
the most
Steel's-
illegal thing I've seen in pro.
That's
in
the most
professional
illegal
wrestling.
thing I've seen in the history of wrestling,
It's actually
which is
up
a fair
to
point.
1.77 million views on YouTube right now.
Okay, I'm gonna watch it right now.
But the funny thing is that I find about it is that they're using
That's
this whole
not right.
them getting success on YouTube as part of their feud now. From what I've seen for the shows that the Osira Report on the Runaways are on nowadays. So yeah, definitely good for them. Definitely getting wrestling and indie wrestling for that matter out there. So
But hey,
I still
Yeah.
can't believe it's gone viral now, even though this took place like months and months ago.
Well,
because
sometimes
probably something.
well, it was only it was back in December, so it wasn't that far.
it sometimes takes
I
time.
thought it was
for
a lot
things.
further ago than that.
No, it was back at I believe it was at the wait no it was actually in like, November I think either November or
Because weren't they
December.
talking about death? And that happened like a long time ago.
No, Cage of Death happens every December.
Oh, okay, so
So it
probably
wasn't
November.
It wasn't terribly long ago, but it was long ago enough that it wasn't. This wasn't like completely recent. But
Yeah, definitely.
Like, if they want some viral, funny stuff, like the Japanese wrestler that wrestles a blow-up doll is one of the most hilarious things I've ever seen in my life.
There's a lot of there's a lot
I
of
think it was
interesting-
less about the actual wrestling of a blow-up doll, because I think that's one of those like, oh man, professional wrestling is kind of dumb. Yeah, there's a
But
guy
he was
wrestling a
selling
blow-up doll.
everything that the blow-up doll was giving him.
But I mean, this was
Dude,
oh,
he
that was
jobbed. He jobbed to the blow-up
He
doll.
jobbed
That's
to
the
a
best
blow-up
part.
doll.
But I think this had like the dancing and the random guy in the Superman underwear, which was hilarious in and of itself. But I think that was the bigger
that was
issue.
funny
there, was the
yet
fact that there was, like,
traumatizing.
it was that there was the dancing was the big part of it.
This is
yeah.
absurd. I'm watching it right now.
Are you listening to the music though?
Yeah. I'm coming in and out of the music to hear what you guys are saying. I'm going to ignore you for another minute now.
Go ahead.
Watch this again.
Go ahead. It's
Nothing
funny.
personal, guys.
It's great stuff, and it's great for the portal and indie wrestling in general for that matter. So
You can just hear
The
him in
commentary is
lap.
pretty tremendous, too.
Yeah.
That is a textbook worm.
The guy doing the
It's
slide on his
textbook
head is
worm.
insane.
yeah. He's like 250 something, and he pretty much just broke his neck by.
But honestly,
yeah.
I see shit like that in New York City subways all the time.
You just see the guy in his underwear, or
That was incredible.
No, dude's like slam dancing like that. Just like doing worms down the subway car and shit.
Well, those people were
Like one time
high
I
and
saw
fucking-
a brother and his little brother doing slam dancing in the subway, and he went to lift his little brother up, smashed his head against the ceiling of the subway,
Nice.
but they
Oh,
still
God.
finished the bit. It was pretty funny.
anyways, there's your wrestling news.
All right.
So yeah, that's
Here's
your
your
indie
indie
news for this week.
All right.
Can't believe that's all you had, WrestleFan.
So that was the Indie Minute.
There wasn't a lot of show. I'll have more next week because apparently every indie wrestling company is having a show next week.
Well, you should have had news this week then.
Well, what you should
Whoa.
do here is you need
What
to do your. I
you
don't know
knocked
what
something down. I don't know what that was.
No,
Okay.
I don't know what it was.
I don't know what it was.
Something
Oh, I see it. I see it.
Okay.
Hold on, guy.
All right. We good?
Yeah.
Was it just a power brick?
No, it's the thing that's holding.
Oh.
That.
Oh. Thanks.
It's still working. It's still lit. I'm sorry,
Okay.
Sorg. I'm sorry, Sorg.
All right, we're good.
What you need to do is you now need to do at least one of these promos
Yes.
using Monster Truck voice. Go.
Yes. Go ahead. WrestleFan.
Oh, me?
Yes.
Yeah, this is part of the indie wrestling minute. Go.
Well, Bobby F. J. Town mentions AON Wrestling. Apparently, Zach Rain. I can't do this voice and be like actually say what's on the screen.
Keep going.
He wore chain chomps on his tights, according to Bobby F. J. Town in the chat room.
Now explain to the listeners what chain chomps are.
Chain chomps, for those that don't follow the Mario Nintendo series, are what are they? They're like cannonball sort of things with a face and a mouth and like teeth
And a chain.
and a chain.
Can we punish
And they
WrestleFan
chomp.
like this every week?
Yep.
I know
Yes.
what it is. I know what a chain chomp is.
I know. I'm highly entertained by listening to you explain this.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I mean,
All right, WrestleFan, you'll have to explain a different 8-bit villain every week.
yes, every week.
Next week is the flame jumper
Yes.
in Mario 3.
Yes.
Study up, kid.
Well,
Yep.
you're the flame jumper.
No, someone has to remember that that's his homework.
Yeah. Well, this is recorded, right?
Right.
Got it.
Okay. All right. So,
All right.
Mad Mike, you're in charge.
Yes.
Lead us on, sir.
Okay. Wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're here to talk about,
Wrest-
right? Albert
Well,
of the River.
Let's see. Who actually watched TNA last week?
You did.
Did anyone?
No, you did.
Yeah, I
Show
had.
of hands.
You see, I had better things to do, like not watch TNA. And like,
I didn't
I
watch
can
TNA,
think of, like,
but I have
30
plenty
things
of
that
Matt
just
Hardy hate
popped into my head.
available at any time.
All right,
The
let's.
5-year-old is telling me he had better things to do.
Let's-
Fuck
I-
you, WrestleFan.
I've seen reports. Let's pull up some results and let's see if I can get anything that's gonna piss me off this week.
You
How did we
okay.
miss
No,
you.
here's the thing.
Hold on.
Why
Time
isn't,
out.
Impact in like ever?
Time out. You specifically said we'll get into TNA later. Like you had something to
Because
say
they have
about
a
it.
pay-per-view coming up. I didn't watch Impact.
Well, fine. Let's talk about the TNA pay-per-view that isn't booked. So,
Yeah.
Let's
Yes.
Unless
Well,
you're an
it's this
Interfan
weekend.
fan, and yeah,
dear TNA.
with research, because I actually had to do research to find most of the card. The main event is going to be spoiler alert, but no one cares. Jeff Hardy
these
versus
are all
Mr.
spoilers.
Anderson. Yeah, Jeff Hardy versus Mr. Anderson in a ladder match for the TNA World Title.
good. Let's give the
Which is-
cokehead and the concussion victim ladders to go around with. That's awesome.
Which is weirder because
That is-
I'm pretty sure this whole thing ended February 3rd. You know, when Mr. Anderson beat Jeff Hardy and like Jeff Hardy like got attacked by AJ Styles, but no, they're not going to do anything with Jeff Hardy and AJ Styles. You know, that wouldn't
No, of course
that,
not.
that wouldn't put Jeff
WrestleFan,
Hardy
they
in the
still didn't do
spotlight
anything
enough.
with Rob Van Dam and Jeff Hardy.
Hmm.
They don't know what they're doing.
They,
They just
speaking
don't.
of that, also in a rematch from Genesis, it will be Rob Van Dam versus Matt Hardy because that was so good the first time.
Oh,
if-
thank
I
God.
bet if you kick him in
I
the
hope it's an
stomach, a
Iron
free
Man
small
match.
fry pops out of his ears.
Now, WrestleFan, is there any truth to the rumor that Matt Hardy has asked for this to be a gravy bowl match so that he has to decide the finish?
No, is there any exaggeration?
No, it's a
rumor?
chocolate pudding
Not
match.
whether or not it's true.
Oh my god.
Did anybody
Oh,
catch
God.
Matt Hardy taking credit for the highest rated impact ever?
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah, he went on Twitter and he said,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
Dixie,
really.
wow,
Let's
me and Jeff
congratulate.
are
No.
on.
Before we do that,
Coincidence?
let's congratulate TNA. Highest rated, one of the third highest rated Impact. Congratulations on your 1.3.
Can I break
No,
down
dude.
why
You know,
people
does
tuned
anyone
into
know why
to
that was the
episode?
most highest rated, one of the most highest rated shows?
Did someone take their
no
pants
idea.
off?
It was blowback from the Royal Rumble. Because people who saw the Royal Rumble and have heard about TNA just realized, oh shit, they just fucked TNA up. I gotta see how they fucking fix that.
Exactly.
true,
That's what I was going to
no,
say.
yeah,
Mike. The whole thing of everybody
congratulations on
tuning
your
in
1.3.
was just to see how they tried to cover their feet in the sand. There was no way that anybody was interested. This is the big conclusion of they. Wow, who's it going to be? The people we heard about on the internet forever? Well, that's who it's supposed to be. Holy crap, 2 of them just debuted in WWE. That's not going to happen. We want to tune in so we see egg on their face. We don't want to tune in to see Matt Hardy's braids and rolls. Nobody wants to see him blown up after his entrance just in the ring.
Time out.
No, apparently 100,000 people on Twitter do.
Hold on. Is Matt Hardy's braids involving bread?
To be fair, Matt Hardy does not have the braids in his hair anymore.
It's just fat rolls that rolled over on themselves.
Why would he do that?
I also need to, in further Matt Hardy hate, I need to disqualify some false report that came out on NoDQ.com. You heard it here first on the Wrestling Mayhem show. It said that Matt Hardy is dating a Playboy model by the name of Rebby Sky. I can confirm for a fact that that is not true. Because I know somebody personally connected to this whole story, and I know for a fact that's not true. No DQ, you're a good site, but you were wrong, and Matt Hardy, do not walk around smiling because people think you're dating another Playboy model. The only Playboy model you ever got was one who looked like she lived in a dumpster and probably still does. Yes, Ashley Massaro. Sorry, babe. It's what happens.
That hurts.
Speaking
Can
of,
we make a promise?
Wait, hold on.
Never mentioned Sky.
Hold on, wait 1 second.
No.
While we're talking about made-up facts, and this isn't Matt Hardy related, I don't know if you saw on Raw last night, but one of their WWE stats that they show when they come back from commercial or before they go to commercial, they said last night that more people watched Raw attended a WWE event last year than the Super Bowl, World Series, and Stanley Cup combined.
Yeah, and the NBA Finals.
Yeah,
and the NBA Finals combined.
Every week of the year, there's a live
exactly.
Show.
Yeah,
so
every
I would
week
just
of the year, there's 3 or 4 live events.
Right.
At least.
So I would like to call bullshit on WWE for that one.
But
Continue.
no, going back to the whole porn star thing. Speaking,
but you're comparing over 300 shows a year to Super Bowl, maybe 5 games of a World Series and 6 games of a Stanley Cup.
No, I'm not comparing anything. They're comparing it.
Well, they were right. I'm going to defend it because I know a guy who writes those. But
but no,
it is
all right.
right.
As we go back to what Magus said, speaking of porn stars.
Well, no, you can defend
another
it.
match.
WrestleFan,
Another match for the paper.
You're grounded. Keep your mouth shut for 1 second. No, honestly, you can defend it all you want, but it's still bullshit.
Yeah.
No, Chachi, what the fact is saying is that more people attended WWE events throughout the entire course of the year.
Yeah.
Than Super Bowl, Stanley Cup, and NBA Finals.
I mean, the Super Bowl
That's probably true.
I mean, the Super Bowl had.
I know it's true.
I mean, had like 95,000 people. If you counted, let's average it out. Even give the NHL the benefit of the doubt, and let's say there's 20,000 people in the Stanley Cup Finals for each game.
Okay.
And Stanley Cup Finals went to game.
Last year it went
6.
to Game 6.
Game 6.
6.
So that's 120 there.
Blackhawks.
120 plus, let's say 100. That's 220,000. 220,000 plus a 7-game NBA series, which is another 140. It's 340,000 plus the World Series, which seats probably 40,000 a stadium. That went to game 6.
Yeah.
6.
Yeah.
All right, so that's 240,000. 240 plus, what was the previous number? 340?
Yeah.
240 plus 340 is 580. 580,000.
Okay. But that's 5 games of World Series. 6 games of World Series. 6 games of Stanley Cup. 1 Super Bowl. And the NBA Finals.
Yeah. So that's 12 and 7 is 20 games.
So that's 20 games. Compared to 4 shows a week for 52 weeks.
Well, I'll also put this out there. They tape NXT and Superstars at the SmackDown and Raw taping. So there's really only 2
Well,
TV
no,
show.
he's saying like house shows.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
like house shows,
including
and that's
house
not
shows.
counting the
House
pay-per-view.
shows and pay-per-views.
Yeah, and that's not counting the pay-per-view per month.
Right.
580,000.
I mean, it's not a bullshit fact. It's just sort of misleading.
Sorta.
It's an unfair comparison.
Okay, there
Oh
we
yeah,
go.
and it's
All
the
right,
numbers
everybody,
aren't.
that was episode 256 of the Math Mayhem Show. Tune in next week for further lessons on multiplication and division.
Okay, WrestleFan.
Remember, everyone,
guys,
stay
yeah.
radical.
We'll teach for extra credit. We'll see
All
you
right.
next week.
WrestleFan, go ahead.
No, going with what Magus said about like 5 minutes ago. Speaking of porn stars, the next match at the pay-per-view, Jeff Jarrett versus Kurt Angle with, look at this stipulation. If Jeff Jarrett wins, Kurt Angle gets to give up Karen at their live wedding on Impact. Well, I shouldn't say live wedding. Their wedding on Impact. If Kurt Angle wins, he gets custody of his 2 kids.
There's
Wrestling
wrestling.
that company so hard if they keep this going.
Uh,
You know Angle's
you know,
going to
I
come
will
back
say
eventually
this.
anyway. Like, oh my god.
All right, hold on a second, damn it. As someone who actually watched Impact, I have hated every single thing, front ways, back ways, sideways, left and right ways about this Angle and Jarrett thing. However, the segments they did inside Jarrett's house with Karen and the kids were actually really, really funny.
They were funny.
Laughed at a lot of the segments.
They were funny
I thought
too.
They were actually.
They were kind of funny to us because we're the people that kind of understand that this whole shit that's going on with Jarrett and Angle and all this crap. But just looking at that as a person that doesn't, if a person that hasn't watched wrestling, I don't know how long, turns on Impact for some reason and watches that segment and understands the backstory, like they would get sick to their stomach.
Well, no, I legitimately thought it was a funny segment, not just because of the whole history and everything, but because the kids were like, you could tell that they didn't really tell the kids what to say at all. And the little boy, like who apparently is a mute. I don't know. He didn't talk at all.
He's
Like
scared
he
of a
looked about
television
5 years old,
camera.
but he definitely didn't say a word. It was just.
So he mentioned Dixie Carter. No, he mentioned Dixie Carter one night, and Jarrett beat the shit
Oh yeah,
out of him.
that's right.
Apparently.
That's right.
And now he doesn't
mentioned Aunt
talk.
Dixie.
Which I don't understand, because that was
Dixie, and
funny.
Jarrett
That was
like,
kind of
we
funny.
don't say that name in this house.
That was kind of funny. But why did you have the picture in your house then? If you hate her so much, why do you have a picture of you and her in your house?
I'm putting this out there.
WrestleFan
Looks pretty
using
good
that
for
logic thing.
I mean,
For those of you who didn't watch Impact, which would be everybody but Mike,
Right.
apparently this is how they revealed who they are.
Oh
They,
my god, so bad.
During the Anderson Hardy match, a ref is bumped, and Immortal hits the ring and starts beating down on Anderson. And then the Fortune members stop and attack Hardy and the rest of Immortal. So they are AJ Styles, Kazarian, and Beer Money. Matt Hardy, Rob Terry, Jeff Hardy, Gunner, and Murphy look on in shock. Styles starts cutting a promo, but Bischoff comes out and calls AJ an ungrateful son of a bitch. I'm not an ungrateful son of a bitch. Fuck you, Eric Bischoff. Styles says that Bischoff ran another company into the ground, but they are letting Bischoff do it to TNA. Oh, you're too fucking late for that. There's a mention that a ruling will be made in March. Really? March?
It's just like the Jeff Hardy court cases.
There's a mention that a ruling will
That's-
be made in March over the power struggle between Hogan and Carter. So it's so now it's Fortune versus Immortal. March.
Even
It's- though on
TNA's website they have a little segment that says Dixie Carter, TNA president, answers your fan questions.
So right here on my
TNA
calendar,
president.
it says that today is February. It says right here that today is February 8th.
Not March 8th.
March.
I know.
It's not
My
March.
birthday's not for 19 days.
Are you?
Come on.
Oh God! I want to just Oh God, I want to throw things. Fuck you, TNA. You're not allowed to be on TV anymore. You're grounded.
AJ, do you know the reason that they pushed along this power struggle storyline?
No, don't care either.
It's because they don't know if Jeff Hardy's going to jail or not yet.
Oh God.
I guarantee this whole fucking power struggle and reference to the court hearing is really like saying, hey, Jeff's still getting continuances, and we're trying to make sure he doesn't go to prison so we can give him back the belt so we can have him feud with Rob Van Dam.
Hey, Dixie Carter.
That's the whole reason this is happening.
Dixie Carter, if you're going to not...
Dixie!
He's not going to jail.
I don't think they want to give.
Jeff Hardy's not going to jail.
Whoa, wait.
I don't think
one
they wanna
person at a
give-
time.
I don't think they want to give Hardy back the title so he can feud with Rob Van Dam. I think they want to give Jeff Hardy the title back because he's such a big star, and they can bring in so much money, and they're going to get so much fans
1.3,
out of
baby.
Jeff Hardy.
Dear Dixie
1.3.
Carter, take the penis out of your mouth and fucking listen to me.
Penis.
You have no idea how to run a wrestling company. Neither does Vince Russo, and neither does Hulk Hogan. If you want any examples that I can cite here, there's an entire DVD box set called The Death of WCW. Rent it, watch it on loop, and figure out what the fuck you're doing that's not that.
What did we
won't.
say it was like a couple years ago in the Mayhem show? We're going to buy Dixie Carter, The Death of WCW, and highlight all the pages and fix the mistakes. But the pages are yellow. I know.
It's so bad. They have... Oh, God. I don't know why I'm so mad about this. Because I don't...
Yeah, you don't even watch TNA. I watch it every week.
Oh, God. I don't know. Dude,
Like-
you're a stronger man than I. That's the only thing I can say here, Mike. You're a stronger man than I, because right now I
I've
just want
given
to
up a
fucking
long time
throw
ago.
things.
I hereby nominate Mad Mike for sainthood.
Yeah. Honest to God, if you can watch TNA week in
Wow.
and week out and not want to kill people, you're a saint.
Saint
And or
Dashing Mad
yourself.
Mike.
Dashing.
Dude, you
no,
don't know
no,
he
no,
doesn't
hold
want to
on,
work.
hold on.
He doesn't want to kill people. You just don't work with him.
No, flip it around. Dashing Saint Mike.
Okay,
How
all
do you
right,
feel
I'll
about
take
that? I mean, Saint Dashing Mike seems... It seems like it doesn't roll off the tongue. I don't know. Riz, you watch
That's
TNA?
okay. I'm always known for rolling off the tongue.
Oh. High five. Yes.
You douche.
That's good douche. Anyways, so they're in the chat room. They're bringing up the end of Raw last night.
I fell asleep.
You didn't miss much.
We're not going to talk about the rest of
Ending was
TNA.
weak. Show was good.
No,
right?
fuck TNA. We're
TN
done.
who?
No one cares.
TN who?
No
Well,
one
no,
cares. There's a match
I wanted
with Joe
to
and
ask-
Pope that
I
no one
wanted to
cares about, and there's a
ask
last night
anyone
standing match that
actually-
no one cares about.
WrestleFan!
Wait, yeah, WrestleFan?
One at a
WrestleFan.
time.
One at a time.
Stop it.
Go ahead, Mike.
I just wanted to know if anyone actually knows what's going on for the X Division title. Like, if anyone's actually read anything that's factual, because
Let me ask
I've
you one
watched
question.
TNA, and I still don't know if the match at Against All Odds is a four-way match for the title or a triple threat match for the number one contendership.
Oh.
Because now that
Apparently it's a
Kazarian is
four-way.
face,
Apparently, it's a
I
four-way.
mean, I don't.
It's a Money in
Are
the
you
Bank
sure?
match, but they're calling it a wise investment
that's-
ladder match.
That's not real. Please tell me that's not real. Please tell me that's not real.
No, I mean, but come on, when
I
TNA
would love
comes
to
out with
see
their
it-
Money in the Bank, it's going to be called like the wise investment.
The sure thing in a
Too big to fail.
suitcase.
Yeah, the sound investing or something like that.
Wow.
God.
No, they already had the Money in the Bank ladder match in TNA. It's called Feast or Fire.
Oh, right.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, where Christopher Daniels always gets fired.
Because again, Dixie Carter doesn't like bald guys. I'm
Eggs.
Hey,
That's
that
not
is
true.
true.
She loves Hulk Hogan. She loves Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan has sweet extensions, though, man.
It's true. He's got side hair.
He's got that.
She only
He's got.
cares if it's covering your dome.
He's got the
If it's
skull.
not up
That's
there.
right.
He's got the Bradshaw.
Yeah.
No, it's the skullet.
Scully on top,
It's a
mullet
skull.
in the back.
Riz said it would be an
Yeah, see-
IOU match.
Well, Well, no, that's what kind of match Ric Flair's in now, because apparently TNA owes him shit tons of money. That's why he didn't come back from the Europe trip.
He's still in Europe.
Awesome.
Oh my god. So
In all honesty, it's because he had a match in Europe with Douglas Williams, and apparently he injured his rotator cuff.
Sure, he did.
Yeah.
I don't exactly buy that, WrestleFan.
Ric Flair
If he
is.
doesn't make-
I don't have any problem with Ric Flair. I don't have any
I'm
problem with
trying
Ric
to
Flair
think of a
because he's the
spot that he
man,
does
and he is the man
nowadays that
for
would hurt his rotator cuff, but I got nothing. Maybe toss.
Ric Flair is the least of TNA's worries.
Ric Flair blades from promos, so he could have torn his rotator cuff,
cutting himself.
slamming down a shot. So he
That's
could
true.
have
But
done
this is
that.
the, but I
Rover or
highly
something
doubt.
like
Oh my
that.
god! I highly doubt the fact that TNA or that Ric Flair constantly, tells them, "Okay, I have to blade during this segment." I don't think that's his decision to blade every single time he,
User
I'm
in the
pretty
chat
sure it
room.
is.
User in the chat room, Mr. Jersey says, "Why are they trashing TNA for? WWE sucks nuts." Go.
So these
Mr.
guys-
Jersey, I'd like to invite you. What do you like about TNA?
Oh.
What exactly?
Chat fight.
You know,
Chat fight.
I'm in for this.
Hold on. And what
I want you
sucks
to-
nuts
like,
about
not-
WWE right now?
Where's
Let's-
my
not-
cookies?
not-
we're being serious.
Guys who literally
Okay,
can't
okay,
speak
wait,
about
wait,
it.
wait.
Time out.
Wait, hold on. Let's wait for his response.
Mr. Jersey,
where's
your
my-
response.
I can't find
yeah,
my. There's
like
my
Mr.
cookies.
Jersey, not the theoretical things like, oh, they got great wrestlers. Yeah, but they don't show the great wrestlers. What do you like about their actual programming? That's what I want to know.
I like Matt Hardy's
I like-
lack of abs and Bobby F. G. Time.
It's not PG.
It's not
and
PG.
It's
The
not
matches
PG.
seem more real.
The matches seem more real.
Okay.
All
right.
The
Yeah,
matches
yeah.
are supposed to be. And I'm sorry, if you watched an X Division match, those matches do not seem real at all. Those are the most
Yeah.
choreographed spot matches I've ever seen in my life. I mean, they're fun to watch, but they are not more fucking real.
And also, the not PG thing. All right, I get that there's a lot of people who are still holding on to the last vestiges of the Attitude Era, and they're hoping that we can have matches where like half a boob might pop out or something like that.
Oh, please, dear God.
Can I look? I know
Half
that
a boob.
I know that there are a
Oh,
lot of
God.
people who are not really thrilled with the whole WWE going all PG. I get that. But at the same time, it forces the characters to not rely on swearing and poop jokes. Well, okay, we still kind of rely on poop
Unless you're
jokes.
John-
It forces them to rely on wrestling skill.
You have to.
and
You actually have to
promo
wrestle,
work.
and you actually have to show real emotion in your promo. You can't just scream and say "rah rah 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 ass rah 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 bitch." You can't. That doesn't make a good
Oh,
promo.
God, I'll make the most
And
dated
dude, I'm
reference
sorry.
ever right
The
now.
Attitude
in,
Era is not as great
No.
as we all remember it
We
to
remember it all.
Oh,
we
God,
remember the
no,
Attitude
it
Era.
was not.
Time out. We remember the rest. We remember the Attitude Era because we were except for you, WrestleFan. You're that age now. But for the most of us,
Well, no.
we were. I mean, for most of us, we were all right in that era where we were starting to learn how to swear properly. I mean, let's be honest here. We were all probably 12, 13, 14, probably between the ages of 12 and 17, somewhere in that realm, right? That's when wrestling was awesome to most people. And we always remember the era when we were kids that we, don't, that was when we were kids. Like when I was 8 years old, The Undertaker was awesome to me because he was this crazy dude who always came back from the dead. Right. Now I'm 27 and the dude coming back from the dead is now a 15-year-old, 18-year-old joke. I'm out. But
No,
Yeah,
no,
I mean,
no,
I
he's
remember
disappearing in
the
doorways
first
and
time I
walking around to
really was
Johnny
like,
Cash lyrics.
whole.
go ahead, Mike.
I was just saying, I remember like Royal Rumble 1994 when The Undertaker lost the casket match to Yokozuna, and then all of a sudden there's smoke coming out of the casket, and motherfuckers on the Titantron and rises up above it. I remember being that age and going like, holy shit.
Yeah,
How the
Yeah.
fuck did he get there?
exactly.
You know,
and that's
like,
the big difference.
My thing with my thing with the Attitude Era, and I know because I wasn't watching wrestling around that period of time, but from what I've seen of the Attitude Era and from what I know about it, it was pretty much like what TNA prides themselves on being now, and that's Crash TV. You know, it's just the biggest spots.
WrestleFan.
You know, whatever.
Go ahead, Mike.
But WrestleFan,
Go ahead, Mike.
the difference between the TNA Crash TV and the Crash TV from the Attitude Era, it was all live. In the Attitude Era,
And,
it was
yeah,
all live.
True.
Yeah.
It was
And
live.
I know
it was in
but
real
this is the thing
arena.
about the
They
Attitude
traveled
Era.
around. Stone Cold was tearing shit up.
And I guess that plays a role. That does play a role a bit. But think about from like 98 to when the Attitude Era ended. Do you remember a single main event of a pay-per-view that was an actual wrestling match? And that wasn't just like a relaxed rules sort of hardcore style. Like, when's the last time we saw, in that period of time, when did we ever see a pay-per-view match where a guy didn't go through the announce table?
Oh yeah,
Or a guy didn't use a chair?
the Spanish
like,
announce
brawl
table. Will never.
Yeah.
Anytime I see a Spanish announce table, the first thing in my head is somebody's going through it.
Yeah. One of the things I think
immediately.
about this, the thing I think about this is when you look, I'm going to take this from I heard Jim Cornette say this once, and we all know what we think about Jim Cornette, but he does make a point here. He made this point about ECW, but I think this also can be applied to the Attitude Era. When you have, you know, people going through those announce tables and getting hit over the head 10,000 times with chairs and all this other stuff, how is that real when, you know, you have a guy that's pretty much being like destroyed like Mick Foley, being thrown off of a freaking, you know, cell, and he gets up and he kicks out. And so how do you think any of that is real? And also, how can Mick Foley fall off of a cell to pretty much death, kick out for another couple moves,
Can I say 2 words?
but a wrestler gets pinned by a roll-up?
Yeah.
It doesn't make it believable.
Here, to support you,
Pay-per-view
WrestleFan,
muscles.
I have 2 words for you. Lightning fight.
Yes.
Tell me wrestling is supposed to be real. They gotta,
But that's what the Attitude Era
right.
was.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
Yeah. And they always, and Mr. Jersey brings up this point. WWE is going to push the King. Watch, come on, man. The King is older than Hogan. But here's my thing with the King. They're giving him this shot because he's been with the company for 18 years and finally said, "Look, just put me in WrestleMania. I don't care how you do it."
Exactly.
And
And,
that's
you know
it.
what?
I've got to.
It's
I gotta say real
respect.
quick, AJ. I'm sorry, but Mr. Jersey, you're not making any supporters here. Quote: I'd take Hogan in a real fight every day of the week.
You know what? I'm
The
just
only
man
Hogan
uses
I would
a
take in a
cripple
real
punch.
fight is Nick Hogan if he's behind the wheel of a motor vehicle.
Oh,
Yeah.
burn. But I think that
He can't walk.
I mean, here's
How?
this is the reason they're
Dude,
giving
and
King a push.
The fact that
I mean, this is
Go
why
ahead,
they brought
AJ.
Bret Hart back last year. Bret Hart can't walk. He had a fucking stroke. But they brought Bret Hart back because they want one of those, like, crazy legend matches. Why do you think they brought 2 years ago Jericho versus Steamboat?
That was good.
hey, to be fair, Steamboat can work
Snuka?
circles around half the
Snuka?
roster.
It was
Yeah.
Steamboat could still wrestle around
No,
the roster.
Steamboat.
It was
no,
Steamboat.
Oh.
It was Steamboat,
And
Snuka, and Piper.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But those three
Snuka
guys,
can
they-
barely stand anymore, so that
Exactly.
was no good.
They bring back these old guys who have been around long enough, who deserve that respect. They've been in the business long enough. If I work 30 years for a company, they give me a watch or something like that. It's that
Exactly.
sign of respect.
Right.
Dude,
Versus
WWE.
TNA, who gets these guys who are clearly past their prime and is still trying to wrestle them on a full schedule.
Hey,
Okay.
I said this before we went on air, but when they put King at WrestleMania,
It's going to be in some gimmick match.
right, and
It's not
I
gonna
will
be a
love,
real match.
I will love every single second of it.
Because it's not.
Let's
It's one of those
also
like,
think about it this
hey,
way.
feel good matches. That's it.
Let's talk about one really quick thing with King though. People want to hate on his age and everything like that, and how he's so advanced in his career and all this other stuff. Just put all that aside and look at the program he's doing right now.
Yeah.
Picture that body as like a young person or something like that. The program that they're putting on right now is freaking awesome. It's really good TV. It's really good storytelling. The whole thing between him and The Miz on Monday when Miz was telling him, what are you calling me so bad for? Look at your whole career. Look at everything you did. He's citing all this stuff. They're getting so personal behind everything. King's one of the best people of all time at blurring the line between reality and sports entertainment. When he'd talk something, we had stuff around. We were working on stuff around ECW One Night Stand, and he'd look dead into the camera and he'd say, like, Taz and Joey Styles, I'm going off the record. If we meet outside of a sports entertainment ring, I'm going to mess you up. He'd say just stuff along those lines, and you buy it. And everything that King is doing right now, even though he's King and he's old, it's good. It's good producing.
You know what it is, though? King today is in a better looking shape than he was then.
Because he's rested.
Sure.
Exactly.
He sits at an announce table.
He's buff.
He looks about the same. Piper said it during a Georgia Championship Wrestling show we were doing a while ago. He said King takes off his robe and looks like he delivered a litter of baby kangaroos. But he'll never be in fantastic shape, and he's not in fantastic shape, but he can go. And everything that they're doing with him, nothing has been bad. There's been worse stuff on the show.
Yeah.
And everything that he's been involved with in recent weeks has made them better. I am actually interested in Ted DiBiase in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I haven't gave a crap about him since forever. And he's actually interesting now.
Can we actually bring this up? And this is something I noticed in the Elimination Chamber when they were when they showed like the 6 guys who are going to be in it. And you have Cena and Orton, you have Punk and Sheamus. And then you have Morrison and R-Truth. And I think that WWE has reached this point now where Raw doesn't really have a mid-card anymore.
No.
And I mean, honestly, they don't have
the
a
mid-card's
mid-card.
on SmackDown.
And I think that's a I don't know if that's a talent issue or if that's something that they need to do. I remember at one point
I think it's a talent issue mainly because like the only really main like big guys that they have on SmackDown is Edge, Mysterio, and Kane. And you know, because I know Ziggler's in the whole thing, but he's still pretty much a mid-card guy. But they need those people, you know, to still have fresh matches on SmackDown. I think they need to, you know.
Wait, why'd you ban?
And
him?
hopefully that's what they're doing with Raw when they're moving guys like Miz and CM Punk into the mainframe. So
I think that they don't have guys that they could like Daniel Bryan. I don't know if they put him in a. I don't know if they put Daniel Bryan in an elimination chamber.
He doesn't need it.
He doesn't need it.
He doesn't need it. He's perfect where he is.
But you're putting R-Truth in there, and you know good and well that R-Truth is not winning that match.
R-Truth is just filler, though. They need those filler guys. They've always had filler guys.
And I think I think that's the big
it's like
issue
when we
here.
had
They don't have enough
when we
guys
had
to fill.
a couple like it was like either a year ago or 2 years ago at the Chamber when DiBiase was in it. We knew DiBiase wasn't going to win mainly because Orton was in it too.
DiBiase was in it because they were pushing the breaking up of the legacy angle.
Which I think they did too early. But
if you're going to choose, but what I mean by that is if you're going to choose Orton or Ted DiBiase to, you know, win that match, who are you going to choose? From the way their careers were at, you know, a year ago.
Oh, no, well, no.
I mean, either one of them could have. Because that's the thing about the Elimination Chamber. It's because it's so unpredictable that anyone in the match does have a feasible shot to win it.
We say it's unpredictable, but how unpredictable has it really been? In
honestly,
Triple H has won like 4 or 5 of them.
I don't see. I look at the Elimination Chamber and I look at the 6 guys that are in it, and I'm already counting Punk. I'm already counting out Morrison, and I'm already counting out R-Truth, and I'm already counting out Sheamus. I mean, basically, the title shot is between.
I think
Orton,
you can
Cena,
still.
and
I think
Punk
you can still count
Wait,
Morrison.
hold on though.
You couldn't see Miz Morrison at Mania? I could.
Wait,
for the title for main eventing? No way.
Really?
I don't think Morrison's at that level yet.
I think he could do
I
it.
don't think it will make. I don't think it will make.
They're going to put Morrison in the Money in the Bank match.
Right. That's what they're gonna do.
They're going to put Morrison in the Money in the Bank match. I can't see Morrison Miz at WrestleMania. I just can't.
No
not
chance.
Yet.
No.
Not yet.
Really?
Not when you have Cena, Orton, and Punk.
They
in the
would
same
push
match.
the whole former tag team partner angle, tag champs, and they would push the hell out of that.
All right.
They already had a match though, and they didn't push it out of it. And
Yeah, but
They had
this
one match.
this match would be the main event at WrestleMania.
I don't.
No.
I still don't think
Yeah.
Morrison.
I don't
and
think it would
Miz
be the
could
main
run
event.
a main event WrestleMania. No,
You don't?
not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
Both of those guys. Both of those guys have the talent and the potential to do so, but I don't think either one of them are. I know Miz is because they obviously put the strap on him,
Right.
but I don't think you're gonna. I don't see Jerry Lawler winning the title at the Elimination Chamber because they're not gonna
No.
have Jerry Lawler main event at WrestleMania. That's a guaranteed loss. So you're gonna have now. What do you if you put Miz and Morrison in that main event match? What do you do with Orton, Punk, and Cena? Do you put him in a triple threat for something about Nexus?
Yeah.
I don't
Or
think
number one contender.
Why would you do a number one contender
I
match
could-
at WrestleMania?
Why not? It's WWE.
No, wait.
They've surprised us before.
But it doesn't seem like that's like okay. You're now setting up. WrestleMania is supposed to be the blow off for like a solid
True,
few
You know
yeah,
months
what?
of
yeah.
Why not
promo.
throw them
Right.
in Money in the Bank?
That would be another idea.
That'd be interesting.
It was
Cena's never
interesting.
been in a Money in the Bank match.
Neither is Orton. Or no, Orton was in it last year.
was it?
No,
Yeah.
no.
Orton was in it a
last
couple
year.
years ago.
Yeah, he was in it a couple years
Orton
ago. 'Cause
was
I remember
in
him
it-
RKO and
Orton
somebody
was
off the
in it
ladder.
at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view.
But I think that's
Yeah.
I think that's where they need to. WrestleMania always has some like they have the big names for the titles.
Right.
They don't put like if you're gonna put Miz and Morrison, it's if Miz beats whoever it is at WrestleMania, somehow beats him again at a Raw, and then it's Miz and Morrison at like Backlash or Extreme Rules or something like that, or Night of Champions. You're not having
Or if
Miz
they're
and Morrison at WrestleMania.
if they're gonna have
No
the
way.
Money in the Bank match at Mania, this could be the time that we've always been talking about someone's actually going to cash it in at Mania.
No, that's never gonna happen.
No, they want to let that go. They always want to have somebody holding that suitcase for a little bit. And they want to let him get some promo time and say, like, I can cash it in whenever I want to. Whenever I want to. I can do it now. I can do it later. I could wait till he's broken in the streets. I could cash it in, get the pin, and I'm the new WWE champion. That's how they do it every single time because they want to get that guy a little bit of face time. If you have that guy win and then he cashes it in and he gets the WWE title and he does it all at Mania, then what was the point of having a title match at Mania? That's the whole point. Is it's
True.
these big giant matches, and that's this. This is Vince's Super Bowl. Vince doesn't like half-ass anything at the Super Bowl. He wants to guarantee big matches. He wants to guarantee good matches. He wants to guarantee good promos. And he can't. He's not going to do it with two guys who aren't completely proven at that super event level.
Okay, so let me pose this question to you, or this idea, and it'll never
Pose
happen.
away.
It'll never happen in a million years. All right. Which
5
means
second pause.
which means the WWE will probably actually steal this because we all know that they're listening.
Yeah, I'm sure. Hi, Vince.
Mike, we don't know of anybody who's listening.
No,
right?
they don't listen at all.
But,
They
um,
don't
No,
listen
no,
at
nobody
all.
nobody whose paycheck is signed.
Yeah. So
By the way.
when all of our discussions become storylines, we know why.
Well, we're writers.
Hey, it works in TNA.
So
Works in TNA.
yeah, that's true. But let me pose this to you. So say that King does go to WrestleMania as champ. Do they actually bring back Taker?
Oh, Taker's vignettes are already running.
Taker will be back. Well, no, he
No,
comes back after Elimination Chamber too.
Right.
No.
I mean,
Well,
for-
you know what,
for the
221
main
11
event at
vignettes for
WrestleMania.
Undertaker.
Do you think they do
You guys, I could see.
Taker versus
Lawler-
King at WrestleMania?
Well, no,
No,
no way.
no chance.
No,
No
your idea
way.
before the
No
show
chance in hell.
of Taker. And
No,
Riley was
Taker's
Cole
coming
as
back
a
for
ref.
Nexus. He's coming back for the core. He's coming back for someone.
He's coming
Ain't
back
King.
for Wade Barrett.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting because he's coming back on Raw on February 21st. We've all seen the vignettes. Those are
Well, yeah,
Undertaker.
I think
They're not
that's-
Sting.
I think
no matter
that's
what anybody
definitively
thinks.
Taker.
It's Undertaker.
People thought it was Sting until last night when I was watching Raw, and they had a song
Johnny-
playing in the
they
background
had
called
Saint-
"No Casket Can Hold Me Down." I'm like, "No grave can hold me down." I'm like, "Really?"
Well,
Those-
it's the song that they used in the promo for the Taker Shawn match last year.
Sure,
all right,
yeah.
all right. But still, it's
Taker could become. Oh, dude.
Taker and Sting.
Taker could be
awesome,
coming
though.
back to challenge Sean.
No, Sean retired. He said he's done.
Yeah, he's done.
No,
They're not going to do a
He
third one.
still could be.
He could play to it.
Horns-
He
Come
could play to it,
back
but I don't
to
think it will happen.
congratulate Sean or something.
Horns posted another terrible idea in the chat room.
No.
Taker versus Sting at Mania.
Again,
Everybody is saying this. Sting will never come to the game. He will never come to WWE because he's a hack. He's always been a hack, and it would totally expose him for being a hack if he came to this company.
Magus.
Even if he was in his prime, even if he wasn't 51, he was always derivative. He was the poor man's Ultimate Warrior, or he was the Crow.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know they were in a tag team. I know.
Hey, Magus, I'm in with you, buddy. I'm in with you. I always fucking hated Sting.
Thank you. Yeah. What's he gonna? All right, we're talking about moves that were stupid earlier and stuff like that. The Stinger Splash is supposed to be so devastating. No, when
Here's the
King
sharpshooter.
Kong Bundy comes at you with the avalanche, that's when it's devastating. When you're going woo and bouncing in and bouncing off of somebody's shoulder blades because you're going in high, that doesn't look devastating. It doesn't seem devastating. It's no good. And why are you making all these loud woo noises and acting all happy when you're supposed to be the Crow? It never made any sense. And Sting was always derivative, and he made a career for himself. So God bless him for that. Good job, Steve Ford. Retire, do whatever. But he could never make it in the WWE. If he could have, he would have came when it was rumored in 2004 that he would, because he could still put on a little bit of something then. He's 51. He's not going to come back to wrestle Undertaker, do 3 spots, and do the job. If he did come back, and that's a huge if, and the comeback. What am I saying? He was never in the WWE. If he decided to debut in the WWE at 51 years old, where 3/4 of the audience would have no idea of previous body of work, the only possible person he would face is Kane, because Kane would do the job to him at WrestleMania. Undertaker would not do the job to him, and he wouldn't come back to do the job.
No.
After having a month and a half long stint with the biggest company in history. If he gets into the Hall of Fame for his WCW work, fine. That's good and well. But he can never make it in this company. He never made it in this game because he knows that this is where the best went, and he was never the best. He just made a career for himself. That's why Sting's not coming at 51 years old. I'm Magus. I'll rant about it again in a few minutes.
Diesel versus Taker, Horns. Again, another one of those matches. Diesel's over the hill, too. In fact, I personally, I believe Taker's over the hill, too. Sorry, again.
Well, we know you think Taker's over the hill.
Honestly,
Taker's over the hill, but he can still have a good match every now and then.
But the issue here is that people keep putting out these dream matches like Taker and Diesel, Taker and Sting, Taker and anybody. I'm sorry, I usually tune out during a Taker match because I know he's down to Cena's level with 5 moves. He does old school, he does the tombstone, he does the last ride, does the choke slam, he might do the little submission maneuver, whatever. I just can't get into Taker anymore. I just can't. And again with Sting had the 2 moves. He had the Stinger Splash and whatever he called the sharpshooter. Again, 2 moves that he basically stole from the WWE at some point.
Yeah.
Who was the other one? Somebody we said something last week. I think it was like Booker T and someone. I can't remember.
Sheamus.
Booker T and Sheamus. Yeah. That's a hate crime. That's honestly, Booker T looked in great shape during the Rumble. He had in great shape. He had a great run when he was in WWE. I'm sorry, it's over for Booker T too. I mean, basically once.
No, it's not. Booker T is freaking awesome on SmackDown.
He got a sweet deal between being announcer on SmackDown and between being the head trainer on Tough Enough. He looked at that deal and said wow, this is exactly the point of my career where I should be at, where I want to be at. And it's the best possible thing that he could be right now in the industry for him. This is the best scenario that he could possibly have, and it all fits perfectly. It's best for us as fans too.
Yeah, and I just don't think that Booker T has. I take that back. I think he might have one good match left in him, but for them, I can't see anybody that I'd want to really see Booker T versus insert name here that he hasn't wrestled in WWE.
Maybe if he went over Triple H once, that'd be interesting. But
Triple H is
maybe a Booker T John Morrison would be good.
No.
I don't know how they would book it, but
I like your thinking, fan, but I don't really see it.
I mean, it's the only Booker T he's a smart guy. He's had smart business ventures in the past. He made a bunch of money off of TNA. It didn't have to do shit for them. But I think this is
talking in Jamaican accent.
Yeah, and he got to talking in fake Jamaican accent. Mike, I think you're completely right. This was the smartest move that he had, or Magus. I'm sorry, Magus. You're right. This is the smartest move that he could make. I'm gonna go be an announcer. I get to sit at a chair. They might work me into an angle every now and then. I don't really have to wrestle all the time. But I get to, still be involved in the business and still make money. Hey.
And head trainer on Tough Enough.
Oh, they make him head trainer on Tough Enough?
Yeah, he's the only trainer announced so far, and I believe it said he was head trainer. We know Austin's hosting the show, but as far as getting in the ring and shit like that and telling everybody, running the ropes, apparently Booker T is the head trainer. So this is like, those two things together, what possible situation could be better for him?
Yeah, I wish that they would do something like that. I know that they're going to do a legend match at WrestleMania, and the legend is going to be Jerry the King Lawler. Obviously, that's the way they're pushing this whole storyline. Who's next?
Well, we wanted a WCW gimmick battle royal. I think that would be the best thing, because then you could
Glacier
have
wins
a gimmick
that.
battle royal and shit on WCW at the same time.
No, dude. Glacier wins that one, and we're all done. We can move on now.
No.
I know, but you get appearances from RoboCop, the Yeti,
or the
Disco
Shockmaster
Inferno.
win that.
The Shockmaster? Oh yeah, I think the Shockmaster's going over.
I gotta say,
Or the Taskmaster, Kevin Sullivan, because he's gonna go nuts and just throw everybody out of the ring.
Okay, guys, I hate to break this up, but we got to take a short break.
Oh, let's take a short break. We'll come right back.
But for the chat room, because there's
legitimate conversation.
Yeah, there is a legitimate chat going on in the chat room.
Good on you, chat room.
If we could get some better answers from certain people, that'd be fantastic. But here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna plug the email address.
Go ahead. Good times.
There we go. Good times at Wrestling Mayhem. Is it show?
Oh, and Chachi.
WrestlingMayhemShow.com.
Plug this dealie, the app.
Oh yeah, plug the
Wrestling
app. Go get
Mayhem.
the Wrestling Mayhem Show Gold, WMS Gold on the iPhone or on the iOS App Store, and Wrestling.
Is it out for the Android yet?
Yes, it is out for Android.
Yeah, you can get it for Android.
Yes,
good times at WrestlingMayhemShow.com, or you can call us 412-206-WMS09670. Yeah,
but I'm waiting for you to smack Mike.
Oh man, don't worry. It's coming. There's a storm coming. That's what these whole vignettes are actually for. These vignettes with the dark figure walking through a, with the horror music like building up, dark figure walking through the rain and through a rickety door and shit like that. That's actually me in that big black trench coat, and then it's going to reveal Mike all terrified in a corner. And it's going to conclude with a slap on 2/21/11.
Pain,
I fucking hate you.
Pain in the chat room says WWE has way too many belts, and anyone can be world champion. No one in the WWE has held the title for years. The idea now is that you don't hold it. A lot of the guys don't hold the title for years anymore because fans want to see a constant churn. They want to see new champions. They want to see people get beat. Who was the last guy who held it for a long time? I think people got
JBL.
Was it JBL?
Kane had it for 6 months.
Yeah, Kane had it for 6, but JBL had it for like 10.
Yeah, and
but also think of
anytime somebody holds the belt for too long, people get mad.
They have like 6 titles, but that's spread over 2 shows.
Mm-hmm.
TNA has 6 titles and has 1 show.
Yeah, I mean that's the other thing. WWE has 2 full shows. The whole reason they have the brand extension is because they signed a bunch of guys from WCW during the whole invasion thing. Whatever, most people know that, and especially people watching this know that. I think, it does go back to the same people over and over and over again. Because, as I've said on this show multiple times, the WWE pushes people who have legitimate mic skills. They may not have very good ring skills, but they push the same
I'm
people
sorry.
over and over
The
again.
belt
with
doesn't
mics on.
go to the same people over and over again. We've had
not anymore.
Sheamus, The Miz,
Sheamus,
Kane.
Miz.
Yeah, most surprising
I mean,
of all, Kane.
Cena hasn't held the belt since
In like a year.
last year. Orton only held the belt in December, and that was
I love
for a
it
very
getting away
short
from
title
more.
reign. Triple H I don't even remember the last time Triple H was in a title match.
That's because Triple H hasn't been on TV.
I don't know
since
how people
April
can
last
say-
year, but sure.
How people can say that the WWE keeps giving the belts to the same people over and over again when Cena, Orton, and Triple H have had one title reign between them in the past 10 months or so.
Oh.
I mean, that's not the same people over and over again. And Christ, you look on SmackDown. SmackDown has Alberto Del Rio can be the champion. Rey Mysterio can be the champion at any time. Edge can be a champion at any time.
By the way, I
You
hate
got,
Mysterio.
and plus, guys, someone like Christian
Everyone
can
hates the
always
midget.
make the jump up anytime.
And that's
All right, and
Okay, no, hold on. NJ Boss, you make a good point. Yeah, okay, who is the WWE Tag Team Champions? They don't do a focus on the tag teams in WWE. I'll
Yeah.
admit
Do
that.
my
Yeah.
Alberto.
But
I don't think anybody.
TNA does have better tag teams. I just wish they would actually use them.
dude,
we
TNA
don't
doesn't
have a
have any
tag
tag
title
teams
match this
anymore.
pay-per-view.
I think the big
TNA
push.
does not have tag teams anymore.
My-
They broke up Gen Me and Morrissey Machine Guns. They broke up
What?
Team 3D. Beer Money is the only team they have.
I think that if you push, and this is most of our problems. We don't have a problem with the people. Okay, so we kind of do have a problem with the people who are in TNA too. But
No, we just have a problem with Matt Hardy.
okay, but that's because he's fat. But
And
anyways,
Jeff Hardy.
the Hardys, pretty much.
And Matt Hardy, yeah.
But
Hey,
I mean,
I know this is now the gold people are just hearing it, but once again, Matt Hardy is
Oh no,
not dating
we've been
Reby
recording
Sky.
and broadcasting
Fuck that.
this whole time.
okay, whatever. This is for free.
I just needed a reason to stop
all right.
switching camera angles so I could use the restroom.
Fine. So, but I mean,
Good man.
if you look at the tag teams that are in the two big leagues, I guess you could call them
Feds.
promotions, feds, whatever you want to call
Right,
them.
CZW and ROH go on.
If you want to, if you want to watch good tag team wrestling, you need to watch indie wrestling.
True.
Because the big timers
Exactly.
don't care about tag teams because tag teams are difficult to push.
Yeah.
Because
New Jersey Boss, if you want great tag team wrestling, I highly recommend Chikara. Chikara is tag
absolutely.
team wrestling personified, for Christ's sake.
if you
Like, they have a 6-man tag tournament every single year. If you want tag team wrestling, go to Chikara. Because you're not going to see it on the shows.
no, I just really
Unfortunately,
don't care about this
sucks.
so-called pro wrestling. At what point was
Although-
pro wrestling real fighting? Anybody want to point that
Yeah.
out to me?
Is there anyone remember
1940s,
the
I
time?
don't
The
know.
1940s of George Hackenschmidt.
Just because it was until when you were 5 years old and you actually believed that it was real.
Honestly, it's
No.
if you want to
Wrestling
watch.
was real in the 1940s
It really
when
was.
George Hackenschmidt was the wrestling champion.
Right.
I mean, if you
Okay,
if-
well, a lot of stuff happened in the
wrestling-
40s that doesn't happen now, and it's for a good reason.
pro wrestling is they've pushed away from the quote unquote wrestling aspect of it and tried to get to this entertainment aspect of it. That's why
But what
WWE,
do you-
besides the fact that they got sued
Hey.
and had to give up WWE.
Okay, Payne.
Did you just
Sorry,
cut
go
the
ahead.
rock off?
Wow. All right.
No, but Payne.
Go
Payne,
ahead.
I never said real wrestling. I never thought it was ever real. So whether you say this so-called pro wrestling, I just watch MMA.
If you
Because
want,
obviously
if you
the
want
point
to
you're
watch real
making is that
fighting,
MMA is
Work.
real, pro wrestling isn't.
because that's what a live. Hey, the Attitude Era for WWE was a live Jerry Springer show. That's exactly what it was. That was the whole point of it. Was that Jerry Springer was huge,
Yeah.
so
And
the
I love
WWE
I
said,
love
"Let's
a good
do
Jerry
crazy
Springer
crap
show every
too."
once in a while, but come on.
Wow.
I mean, I when I watch wrestling, I watch it because number one, I know it's fake, and I think everybody who watches this knows it's fake.
It's not fake. It's not fake. It's staged.
Fixed, man.
It's okay.
Come
It's
on.
staged
It's
and
staged
fixed.
combat.
People still
It's staged
fall down.
combat. It's real physicality, but it's staged combat.
It's falling
Yeah.
down, and there's fake punches. You see botches. Go look up Botchamania on YouTube. There's plenty of those.
Hell
but,
yes.
but I mean, there's it's not. They focus less on the wrestling and more on the storylines. And the reason they do it is because they got out of this whole wrestling thing, because wrestling got this really bad stigma from the
people from the 80s that you're talking about.
People from the 80s who were always like, "Oh, it's Hulk Hogan style matches," and you know that was the whole push away from it.
Sorry.
No, go ahead. What are you gonna say?
I don't agree that they have not focused on wrestling. There have been some fantastic matches this year.
There have been.
There have been fantastic matches this year, and we're in February.
I get annoyed by people who are either marks or indie fans who go on websites and Twitters and stuff like that and say, I want wrestling. WWE has given you wrestling for the past year. If you actually watch their product, there is a lot of good wrestling on it.
Dolph Ziggler and Daniel Bryan put on a clinic every pay-per-view and every match I see.
Not just that.
Dolph Ziggler and John Cena put on a clinic a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
Dolph Ziggler and John Cena.
Yeah, the fact that John Cena can have a good match. I think there's guys in TNA that can have good matches too. I just think it's booked terribly, and they could do better.
No, but TNA. The thing with TNA, it proves the fact. Okay, the whole problem was every time they said, we're not doing well, it's because we don't have Hulk Hogan, we don't have Ric Flair, yada yada. You have all those guys now, and you're still doing the same you've been doing always, if not worse. It shows that you can have the Hulk Hogans, the Ric Flairs, the Kurt Angles, the Mr. Andersons, the Hardys, all these big names you could possibly come up with in one company, but if your booking is not good, it won't matter.
Bingo. And that's the big deal with TNA, is that they have a bunch of talent.
What else?
Coked out as Jeff Hardy is, it's still talent.
What else is there going to be besides Vince McMahon walking into the Impact Zone?
Nothing.
John Cena? Yeah, keep dreaming.
I mean, they need...
Well,
TNA
no,
needs
I
to
think
book
Paul
their stuff
Heyman
better.
walking into the Impact Zone would be something different.
Paul
Heyman showing up at Impact and Paul Heyman actually taking the reins of that company, I think might actually make a difference, because TNA does have the talent. I've never said that TNA does not have the talent to be a tremendous professional wrestling company.
No, and honestly, we've said that for the past
it.
years. We've said for the past years that TNA has the capability of being a legitimate federation.
Yeah.
They're the ones that keep screwing it up by signing all these has-beens that shouldn't be in the ring.
You can only ride potential for
it's
so
not even
long,
that, because
though,
there's a
before
place
you need
for
an
that.
actual result.
There is a place for Hulk Hogan. There is a place for Ric Flair.
Retirement?
Guys like that.
No, Ric Flair,
Shady
I
Oaks.
think in TNA is actually great. Ric Flair is tremendous in TNA because he's used primarily as a manager. He gets in the ring once or twice, as most good managers do.
Yeah,
I mean,
but that's not how they're using
it. Means something.
That's not how they're using it. They're pushing these guys as a main event.
I think that we could talk all day about how bad the booking is as part of TNA. I think TNA just needs to work on the booking. They need to get rid of these giant factions and giant groups and focus on the fact that they probably have, at a much lower level, probably better talent from if you were to add them up.
No, I don't think so.
Not anymore?
Not
anymore. No, I don't think so. They've gotten rid of a lot of their talent.
Do you think they could call up guys from... Do you think they could bring in guys from, say, ROH? Or bring in guys from some of the indie feds and say, hey, look, we want to get you some TV time. We're trying to rebuild the X Division. We think you'd be great for it. We want to book together this sort of thing. We want to do an X Division tournament, that sort of thing. And I think you could legitimately build booking and get these guys who could have good mic skills, give them some TV time, get them a little face time on the televisions, and maybe get something better out of it. But
I think another problem with that is
TNA
in the past couple of months has done that with people. If you look about Tommy Mercer if you look at like Winter, and you have I guess the new chick that's going to be Sarita's sister or whatever. But TNA, there's a I think obviously they can't do this because they're not big enough of a company. But the good thing about WWE having FCW is that they can train those wrestlers to fit their style and to do what they need to do in the ring. When they brought freaking, Winter in, we were all excited about the whole thing because we knew she was actually a really good... She was one of the better wrestlers when she was in WWE.
No, she wasn't. No, she wasn't. Dude,
Compared
Katie
to-
Lee Burchill could never work.
Katie
Lee Burchill could never work.
Can we say that they could find, I think some spare space at Universal Studios and put a ring in there and maybe do some training on their offshoot days? I don't know. I mean, bring back the WCW power plant. I don't care.
No, not the power.
No, I'd
plant.
actually no.
Just bring back something where people have to go through. Just go back and just bring in something where they can actually train these guys on mic skills. Because one of my big issues with TNA is that nobody in there, short of the guys who had long-time deals in WWE, can use a microphone properly. Samoa Joe, as big as a TNA star as he is, can't use a mic to save his life. AJ Styles can barely use a mic to save his life.
No,
Nobody can cut a good
AJ has
promo.
gotten a lot better. AJ has gotten a lot better, and it's because he worked with Christian.
There you go.
It's because he
worked
with
Ric
Christian
Flair.
It's a microphone. Yeah, Flair too.
Because he worked
Ric Flair, AJ Styles was very much like Ric Flair and Triple H. I enjoyed that a whole hell of a lot. When he was coming out as Mini Flair with the robes and everything, that was tremendous.
I think they need to work on the mic skills and building a proper storyline and sticking with it week to week instead of letting Vince Russo's storyline ADD ruin everything. Because that's one of the other problems that Sorg actually said. They film episodes back to back and still can't be cohesive. Like,
listen.
I think that's one of the problems with TNA, because they don't keep their storylines consistent. It's hard to talk about them because, I know the Pope D'Angelo Canero can use a microphone. I know the man has good microphone skills, but I don't even think he knows what his storyline is about.
True.
I really don't think he knows what it's about, because I heard his promo this week. The promo, it was like a fucking Warrior promo. It was that bad. Like, I literally had no idea what he was talking about.
The thing with, and the tape shows are a problem, I think, but another thing I don't like about TNA's booking is they hotshot too much stuff, which is one of the reasons why I think their pay-per-view buys are down also. Because, okay, it's like I mentioned before with the Hardy-Anderson match on February 3rd. Anderson beat Hardy. No matter what, ref bump and interference, he did beat him. And AJ Styles, was the reason that Jeff Hardy lost. But yet, they're still having another match between Jeff Hardy and Mr. Anderson. Why? The feud is over. You don't want to know why it's over? Because Anderson pinned Hardy.
It's not over. WrestleFan, it's not over.
It should be over.
TNA never finishes feuds. I can't name a single feud in the past year that TNA has actually finished. I cannot name a single feud. I can name about 35 feuds they started. I can't name a single one that they definitively finished.
Listen, but the
I'm
thing
still
is,
waiting for RVD to get revenge on Abyss.
They finish storylines, and by when I say this, I mean they finish it on like an Impact, but they continue the storyline on, which is what I'm saying, which makes no sense. Because why should I care?
No, WrestleFan, what feud have they finished? Name a feud. Name a feud in all of TNA that they finished.
I'm saying they haven't finished them properly.
No. I'm saying name one that they finished. I still can't.
If you're gonna say that, then no. Yeah. That's the thing. They should have ended Hardy and Anderson right there.
All right,
they should have ended them right at February 3rd.
That's the only feud that they've finished in the past 6 to 8 months.
Oh man, dude, why
Which
is
one?
Okay, here's one random problem with TNA. The World Championship belt is the Divas belt from fucking WWE.
Yeah, that bugs me because Anderson came out the first week and said he hated that belt. Why hasn't he gone up to what's his name?
Anywhere.
Eric Young, and said, "Hey Eric, give me my damn belt back."
Let's see here.
Because Eric Young is just walking around with it. It's not like it's still in the trash somewhere. You want to know why? Because they're giving Jeff Hardy that belt back. That's exactly why they're doing it. They're just waiting so he doesn't have to go to jail.
Also, can I also
Bobby F. J-Town.
Tramp
Bobby F.
stamp.
J-Town, the Tramp Stamp Championship of the world.
I'm putting this out there. The longest reigning champion in TNA right now is the Knockouts champion Madison Rayne, who has held the belt since October 14th, 2010. All of the
But
other
that's because she
championships-
hasn't defended it.
Wow, you sound
Except
really
for
mad
once.
about that. The World Champ, Television Champ, World Tag Champ, and X Division Championships all changed hands on the same day. That's called we don't know what to do with our storylines. Let's just change everything up and see what happens. Like,
Yeah,
there's-
well, Fortune was trying to get all the belts.
I can't. I just can't.
That's like that storyline was like a year or 2 years ago when the Main Event Mafia wanted all the belts, and they went to the road. They got all the belts.
The one time that Kurt Angle had, I think the X Division Championship, the World Championship, and I think he had the World
And
Tag
the
Belt.
TNA championship.
Yeah, he had the TNA.
Kurt was the world champ and the TNA champion, and the X champion, I think. But he lost the X
And what
title
happened
to
to tag
Jeff.
champion?
I just this is the problem is that they have. All right, they have. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
They have
6,
6
7.
titles.
7 going down to. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What's that's 63, not including tag team. 63 people on the TNA roster that somehow week to week have to somehow form cohesive storylines. Somehow.
Yeah.
Right? Whether you work someone in as a as a tag team, and that way you can get 2 guys in at the same time, or
Right.
you work a bunch of. I mean, look, this is only a bit of the. Okay, there you go. Fuck. Hold on.
Did anyone realize Ink and Gunner and Murphy are feuding?
Here's the
No,
TNA.
they're not feuding. They're not feuding,
They-
WrestleFan.
They'll
that
feud
right there.
eventually
They're not.
because
If you look on the screen there, that's the TNA roster. That's 2 hours of programming that they need to fill with these people. And they just don't have the amount of time to do it. I mean, look, if you look at WWE,
but also okay.
I think they might have 25 people per show.
No, they have a little bit more than that. I did the
They
math
have
when
like
we were
30.
doing the.
They have like 35.
There's about 40 people on Raw and about 25 people on SmackDown.
All right, but you still have half those people and the same amount of time to devote, which means you can get more cohesive storylines.
You also
But-
forget, you also have superstars. Superstars where
Yeah,
they put
you
a
also
lot of
have
the guys they
superstars.
can't put on Raw. So
And
Yeah.
remember, TNA has Explosion. It's just not on the air, and no one watches it.
well, Explosion they usually just use for a random knockouts match.
Yeah,
I mean, right?
Because what I
Yeah,
want,
Like a
the last-
knockouts
the
match
last
and how
Explosion-
they injured Daphne, and that's why
yeah. The
Explosion
last
sucks.
match, the last matches on Explosion, I think was they had a match between Sarita and Winter because that's a feud, okay? Because they've been feuding.
Yeah, you remember when Mickey James's wrestling debut was on Explosion?
And they had the exact same match on Impact.
Yep. Okay, so all right, let's get off of TNA and talk about how awesome
Yeah.
Raw was and how awesome CM Punk is.
Go for it.
CM
Oh
Punk is
man! Thank goodness
Punk
they
got his
gave
nose
the reason
broken.
for his whole attack on Randy Orton. You never see something like that where it's where it's a reference to something that someone did forever ago.
Oh shit!
That's like a character's reasoning behind something. And when they showed Legacy jumping Punk and making him lose the World Heavyweight Championship back in 2008, that was fantastic. Yeah. To make
it's like the thing I like with CM Punk is the fact that he's definitely the heel. There are certain parts of his issues with people where I have to agree with him, and some people have to agree with him. Like for the fact
that's the best part. That's the absolute best part about it.
Yeah, that is. He started being heel because John Cena was legitimately trespassing on events because he was fired. He's feuding with Randy Orton because 3 years ago he cost him the World Heavyweight Championship.
I love the fact that he said that he said all the stuff that he did, and CM Punk said my actions are defensible. That is a great heel line. That is a great way to get people saying you're a heel, you're a jerk. That's the best way to do it.
To quote Mick Foley, who I think was quoting Harley Race, I think. I'm not positive on that. But he said that to be a convincing heel, you have to believe with all of your heart that what you are doing is right. And what CM Punk has been doing to Randy Orton is the same exact thing that Randy Orton did to him. Randy Orton had his flunkies attack Punk, and then Orton delivered the final blow. This past week on Raw, Nexus assaulted Orton, and then Punk delivered the final blow. It's a mirror effect, and it's so fucking brilliant because they switch face and heel now.
Can we somehow call WWE and ask who's writing all this? Because they've done some really good research lately. They did the Orton thing. What was the Punk and Cena thing?
Not to brag, but they've probably done some good research because they have people logging their shows
now in a digital search. But,
But I mean, they have all this stuff where they can go back in the storylines, and thanks to the fine work of Magus and Mike, who are actual sort of kind of WWE employees. Like somebody earlier was like, "Are you guys on Vince's payroll?" Yeah, actually, Magus and Mike are, but whatever.
Bam! Right there, baby.
What do you do?
But I mean, they've been going back and doing this research with what was the other one with Punk, going back. Oh God, this is gonna bother me now. They went back and had Darren Young bounced out in Nexus first, and he was Punk's rookie on NXT. And there was this whole circular storyline where everything made sense. I was like, this is the first time this has ever happened. And then they do it again.
I bet it was Punk's idea.
I mean, this is...
I'd almost guarantee it was Punk's idea.
I like the fact that they involve the rest... because it seems like they're involving guys like Punk, and when Jericho was there, Jericho was doing a lot of his own writing. They're involving these guys and letting them build kind of their storylines, and then the writers kind of say, okay, well, we can't really do that because we did this sort of this way not that long ago, so we can't really totally do that. But Michael Cole, as a heel announcer, I want to break my TV every week. Thank you, Michael Cole. You've gotten me actually mad about wrestling again.
Yeah. The smartest thing that Taz ever said on Twitter was the fact that it was something to the degree that Michael Cole is supposed to be a heel. So, he's
supposed
doing
to be
his
annoying.
job when you're pissing him off.
Yeah. When people are getting pissed off by Michael Cole and he could get that kind of heat. I mean, it's the same thing as Vicky Guerrero. She doesn't do a thing other than scream, "Excuse me."
Yeah.
And people
just start
and Vicky
booing. Is so good.
She's so good at getting
Vicky is so
heat.
fucking good. She really is.
I mean, that's who you got Punk getting good heat, you got Cole getting heat, you have ancillary characters getting heat, and letting guys like Ziggler just go in the ring and wrestle, and they're not necessarily bad guys, they don't necessarily say bad things, they have people who are heels for them that are just taking that heat to another level, like Cole with Miz and Alex Riley with Miz. That whole triumvirate right there is building the greatest heat I've seen on Raw in a while.
Yeah.
Oh, and the best part was when last night I was watching Raw because I had it on late, and when Vicky was out with Ziggler and then Cena came out and chorus of boos for Vicky Guerrero. Ziggler didn't even have a microphone, and he just goes, "Do you hear what these people think about you, Cena?"
Yeah, that was a
Yeah, I
great
heard that.
turnaround.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant.
I mean,
And
that-
he said something also when they were walking up the
Ziggler's
ramp.
really rubbing off on Vicky, like Mike skill wise. He is getting exponentially better every single time he's in the ring with Vicky.
Did you also hear when they were doing the whole "Go Pack Go" chant, and Vicky and
don't start
Ziggler
on
were
that. I was
walking up
just
the ramp?
angry
You hear
about that.
Ziggler go, "They don't even know what city they're in."
oh wow, the R-Truth messing that up was hilarious.
Ooh, I'm mad.
Because then
I
Cole
felt for
went
him.
off. I mean, Cole went off,
They
and he
started
was
doing
like,
a Milwaukee chant, and
yeah.
Michael Cole got up and started chanting with them.
Milwaukee, Milwaukee.
Yeah.
By the
felt
way,
for him,
apparently on WrestleZone right now is a video of R-Truth and John Cena battle rapping after Raw.
No. It's not R-Truth and John Cena. It's CM Punk and John Cena.
They
battle
whoa! Somehow bring that up, please.
I don't know if I can.
Post this in the chat room.
man.
Post this in the chat room.
Yeah.
Post this in the chat room. CM Punk and John Cena battle rapping. All right,
This
hold
was
on.
apparently during one
Oh
of
my
the commercial
God, I
breaks.
need to hear this.
Hold on.
I must
Hold on.
hear
Somebody,
this.
somebody put the link up in there. I'll see if I can pull it up on the iPad over here and see if we can't get ourselves on the iPad.
Okay. Okay. While we're working on that,
Yeah, because
how about we talk about something else? I want to talk about what is the hottest finisher in the company since the Royal Rumble. And that is, of course, the Cobra.
Cobra.
People were mocking the hell out of the Cobra when it was first created. And you know what? I'm saying it all seriousness. The Cobra is the hottest finisher in the company right now.
Oh,
Done
my
and
God.
done.
I love it.
Everybody can take it. The audience loves it. It's a great spot. It's awesome. Come on, let's hear it. Universal praise for the Cobra.
It's the Worm 2010.
And 11.
No, it's
It is
not because
That's what.
the Worm
Yes, it is because
would
it
never take down
has
anybody for a
audience
title.
participation. It has a very elaborate setup, and
It does.
it's not done by a main event.
You're right. You're absolutely right on that one.
You know what though? Santino
Thank
is
you.
going to main event one day.
I got you.
I'm saying it. If people think
He already
he's
has.
just a
He was
comedy
in the
act,
final two of
but
the Royal
you know what?
Rumble.
You tune in to see Santino. His events are always great. There it is, right there. Hit the camera with that thing, AJ. Bam! Devastating. AJ just did the Cobra for all of our audience in iTunes, and who will be listening to this audibly later. And no, the Cobra is great. And you know what? Even though it's just like that little chop or whatever, yeah, there's moves like the Worm that was just a chop, but as has been well documented, the Hogan leg drop, the People's Elbow. The People's Elbow! That's the ultimate setup for audience participation, like cheer and everything. Except the Cobra's even more, because unlike the Worm or the leg drop or the People's Elbow, everybody in the audience can go like that, and then smack it up, bring the arm up, turn the Cobra out, strike, scream Cobra at once.
All right,
It's awesome.
I am currently bringing up the Punk and John Cena battle rap, so we can all listen in.
John Cena, you used to do this all the time. You walk out here and you bust a rhyme. But it's 2011, and no matter what you do or say, nobody wants to hear it here in Green Bay.
Oh, and he does the "You can't see me" and "You can't
No,
hear
he
me."
doesn't. You can't hear me.
Yo,
Oh man.
check it out. You with me? I'm from Chicago. It's my Chicago Bears.
Forgive me, it's been a while. You know where you at, homie? Kid, this ain't your night. I eat you for breakfast like my man Reggie White. He'll be bobbing and weaving just like you was a Dodger. But I'm sitting winning championships like my man Aaron Rodgers.
Wow.
Got another minute.
So kids, step down here. You get hit by 1,000 trucks. And while I'm whipping your butt, they'll be chanting, CM sucks.
WWE has turned into an indie show, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh man,
That is amazing.
What song is this? Go.
Got another 28 seconds.
Of them chanting CM sucks.
When it comes to you and me, it's clear that my flow is more steady. But now, pardon me, I have to go get ready. Peace, I'm out.
And he walks back, arms in the air.
Man.
Wow.
Punk breaking his nose on Monday.
That was kind of sick.
God,
The breaking of the nose, but I think I saw Mike. I think you tweeted about it. The fact that he got the blood on his taped up arms, it just added that effect. Oh man, because that wasn't supposed to happen. So that wasn't a blade job. That wasn't a package. That was actual blood that he had, like a busted up nose.
Yeah, that's one thing about with everything being PG, since nobody's blading anymore. When somebody bleeds, you're like, holy crap, that looks like somebody really got hurt, because they did.
Yeah, and I
yeah, but that's what makes it better, because you're not having people bleeding every single match. We're not desensitized by it anymore. Like, we can see Punk's nose getting broken, and we're like, oh, shit just got real.
Yeah.
I know, or like Hell in a Cell, you see the back of Kane's head is bleeding like crazy because,
he actually took the back of the cage, or the back of the cell to the dome,
Right, exactly.
I mean, the other one was the whole bit with, like, whenever they were doing the Royal Rumble promos, and they showed, like, all these people, like, going out of the ring and stuff, and you see, like, trash can lids and crap. I'm like, why would you put the trash can in the Rumble? Why is that in there? Why is there a kendo stick in the middle of the Rumble? Are you really serious right now? You're not actually throwing a guy over the rope. You're just beating people senseless. And that was the problem with the Attitude Era, kind of going back all the way to the beginning. When we were talking about how, bringing it full circle. That the Attitude Era just doesn't work like that anymore. If you go back and watch old ECW matches, they suck. If you go,
hey,
not all.
We went through the ECW library, man.
That's the point that Jim Cornette made.
That holds up.
How
if
are
you're
you
gonna watch
supposed
New
to believe
Jack
that
and
a
somebody
guy
with a keyboard,
can
it's
freaking
horrible.
go through a barbed wire board, go through a flaming freaking table and all this other stuff, and believe that they're okay to at least even go to get to the next show?
Yeah, like when they
showed,
what I mean? Like I think it was 2 weeks ago when whenever it was the Abyss got stabbed in the back with the Janus. And we're all like, well, knowing that it's TNA, he's going to have it pulled out of his back and he's going to win a match next week. Like, that's the problem, is there's no cohesion. There's no show-to-show thing.
They didn't air that match. They didn't air that match. It was in the tapings, but they never aired it.
What, did Abyss actually want a match after that?
Yeah. No, Abyss hasn't been on TNA TV since he got stabbed in the back with Janice.
All right,
which of course is so appropriate because he is their television champion.
Well, yeah.
To not have him on TV.
Yeah. Should have gave up the belt. But see, too many people remember ECW as that. They remember it as the flaming barbed wire stuff. A lot of people are forgetting one of the best factions of all time, the BWO. They weren't doing any flaming table spots. Nope. There was, you had matches like Jerry Lynn versus Rob Van Dam. Like, those were some of the craziest matches you'll ever see. There's good stuff in ECW. There still is. But no, if you're going to watch New Jack, fracture his skull, start bleeding out his eyes and ears, no, that's no fun. Or New Jack again.
If you're going to see New Jack do that and get up and continue the match, how are you supposed to believe an actual wrestling match?
Yeah. If you see that, he actually gets up and he's literally bleeding from orifices that he should be bleeding from. If you see that, then if I see somebody actually get knocked out by John Morrison's knee, I don't believe it. I mean, John Morrison running knee versus, dude getting, Starship Pain is a crap move. That's him spinning in the air. Starship
Pain, when he hits it, looks very good.
But he
Not as a
barely
barely
hits.
spot, not as a finisher, as a signature.
R-Truth's lie detector is the stupidest move ever.
Yeah.
That's a spinning
Try
shoulder
hitting it.
block.
Can't even hit it in the video game. That's how horrible it is.
Anyways,
But no, if Morrison, what's the other move that Morrison does?
The
What
flying
is it?
shot,
It's not-
or the flash kick, whatever they call it.
that
No,
kick-
I mean, no, the movie he used to do, the one where he grabbed him by the, it's like a spinning neck breaker or something.
Oh, the
Oh, fuck.
Because that would be, that's the move I can believe in. That's a move you can believe in.
the moonlight
Yeah, but
something
you
or other?
can't hit it on that one. Oh,
No, he can. He
Hold on.
can. It's like
Starlight
an actual
Drive,
move.
or no. It's like Moonlight Drive or something like that.
Some
hold
Something
on.
like that.
I'm bringing up the internets. The internets will tell me all these
Wikipedia.
things.
I'm gonna
You know
beat you
what
to
it
it, Mike.
is? It's no Cobra.
Yeah, it's the Moonlight Drive.
Hey, Chachi,
Moonlight Drive.
Yes.
can I ask you a question?
Sure.
What did you learn from wrestling this week?
What I learned from wrestling this week?
It is
That,
9:30.
No, it's yeah. Well, it's just about that time. AJ.
No, WrestleFan, it's 10:20.
So,
Gotta watch it.
I learned that all I want to see this year is the King at WrestleMania.
Okay.
That's what I want to see. That's what I learned from wrestling. That's what I want.
Child, what did you learn from wrestling this week?
God.
Well, I learned.
no,
I
I learned
wrestling fan.
that even though,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
okay, he
Child.
said child, but no, I learned that with all the people who talk horribly about wrestling, especially people in the news and people, before they think about wrestling, pro wrestling can still go viral.
Yes, yes, it can.
Yes.
Magus, what did you learn from wrestling this week?
Oh boy, I learned that Matt Hardy can get even more irritating by the week. I thought I'd had enough of him, but now I don't. Oh God, it's just reports coming out about him dating people that he's not really dating. Because I know people attached to that situation. It gets kind of under the skin a little bit. And man, you know what, Matt Hardy, call into the show. We know you're all over the internet all the time.
Yeah, seriously.
Why not
You got
just call into the
160,000
show? If you
followers.
call into the show, we will stop the Matt Hardy hate. Well, I will. I don't think.
I will not.
You're
there's
chunkier than my
force in
peanut butter,
heaven or
buddy.
hell that could stop Mad Mike from hating you. But you could come over, get Mad Mike laid for like 3 years straight, every day, and he would still hate you. But call into the show, Matt Hardy. Just give us a ring. What's that number, guys?
That number again, Chachi,
That number
is
at the,
412.
at the bottom of your screen is 412-206-WMS09670.
So Matt,
That's the number.
that's
the
not
number you call
used
in,
when you
Matt Hardy.
mash the buttons on your phone with one finger and hope that you called the right person.
Hey, Matt, just give that number a call.
No,
let
actually,
us know what's
Matt
up.
Hardy, if you
I'll
want an
stop
easier way to
hating on you.
contact us, download the app on your iPhone or your Droid.
Yes.
It has a nice little contact button there where you can just dial that and hit the number.
Yes.
Boom.
So, Mr. Michael,
See, even less work for you.
Yes.
Haha.
Dashing one.
Dashing, Saint Dashing.
Yes.
Yes.
Saint Dashing.
No, it's Dashing Saint Mike.
Yeah.
Sir, what did
Yes.
you learn from wrestling this week?
Oh man, what did I learn from wrestling this week? I learned that Jerry Lawler is still one of the best promo guys in the business. It's something that I found last year at an indie show when he was fighting Tommy Dreamer, and it's something that he has just reconfirmed this week, being given a shot to main event a pay-per-view for the first time in God knows how long.
Excellent.
The chat has learned that Katie Burchill is in TNA, and she gave him a winter's bone. That is from Bobby F. J. Town.
Hot Wheels learned too much about Bobby.
And
Horn still learned that he still wants to bang Maurice. Riz learned that the WWE video production staff can flub up a return sometimes. And I learned this week that CM Punk can rap.
Riz, what do you mean by that?
Yeah, Riz, what
do you
happened
mean by
there?
that, Riz?
Riz, expand, please.
yes, we still got time. Go ahead and
We
explain.
got time. We got time.
Clearly, you're not hating on those fantastic Undertaker vignettes because the Undertaker vignettes, even though they show absolutely nothing, are fantastic.
Yeah, they're awesome. I feel like I'm watching a trailer for that show on TNT, Undisputed.
You know,
I feel like I'm watching a trailer for that show. Like, I'm half expecting Timothy Oliphant to be wearing that trench coat.
But yes, I learned that CM Punk can battle rap, which is kind of awesome.
Right. Multi-talented, that guy.
But I see Riz. I guess Riz
Chris
might
Jericho's book is out in Barnes & Noble.
It was the
I just
sample.
learned that right now.
The sample has been out in that sample's been out in the iTunes bookstore for a while.
Well, no, I read it. I read it already based on your recommendation, but a buddy of mine has the book in his hands.
Oh, wow.
So I will be going to Barnes & Noble tomorrow.
Fair enough, sir.
Bobby F.J. Town says that he will have an AON weekly report next week for the show.
Ooh.
And he can send that to
Good times
at WrestlingMayhemShow.com.
Yes. They're awesome, but they could have just left us in suspense until okay, so Riz doesn't want to tell us what they screwed up.
Yeah.
I think they just wanted to let people know that, hey, this isn't Sting.
Yeah.
It's not Sting.
Because if people are thinking that it's Sting and then Taker comes out, it could be a less than favorable reaction.
If it is
we
Sting,
all expected Christian, and we get Matt Hardy.
That's true.
Yeah.
The WWE fans.
I will make a wager right now. If it is Sting, I will wear Sting face paint on the Mayhem show for 2 episodes that I get to co-host.
Okay, so I'm guessing that one episode is Ultimate Warrior Sting and the other one is Crow Sting.
One episode is Ultimate Warrior Sting and one episode is the Crow.
Well, then you heard it here, folks.
If you're looking for the Chris Jericho Undisputed book in the iTunes bookstore, expect a release date February 16th. If you don't believe me. Right there. There it is.
Nice little plug there, Jericho. Maybe you should give a call into the show, too. I'm a huge Fosse fan, man. I will sing Love Machine with you at the same time. That is one of my favorite songs.
And we learned this week that...
Love Machine by Fosse. Look it up.
That we also learned this week that Sorg, when sick, is still upstairs laughing on his TV.
Actually, when I went up there, he was upstairs editing the Awesome Cast.
He's a machine. Sorg is a machine.
He's a machine.
Write it down. I said it. I'm stuck in his TV right now.
He's a transformer.
How do I get out of
and
here?
Wait, I forgot. I promised something on the Twitter feed that I need to guarantee.
Yes.
For the Loving Mayhem audience.
You guarantee?
Hats
I
off.
did guarantee. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Hats off.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight? Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the mayhem.
USA! 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 Ho!
All right. So, you didn't mess it up. That's always awesome.
Good job.
So I'm better than Christina Aguilera.
Yes, you are. And Riz just said that it's still real to me. Damn it, will be on Tosh.0.
Hell yeah.
Tosh.0 is coming, or Daniel Tosh, not Tosh.0. Daniel Tosh is coming to Pittsburgh.
I saw.
At the end of March, I think. And I'll be really intrigued as to who actually shows up for that show, seeing as all the disparaging things that he said about our fine city on the Twitters.
Right.
And,
so, this is episode What episode number are we on?
256?
256? Yeah.
2 5s.
You're listening to Wrestling Mayhem Show, episode 256. Email us at
Good times!
at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. Call the voice hotline at 412-206-WMS0. That's 9760. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you guys next week.
Just wait, just wait, just